Hey, she's Pastor Barbara, I'm Bishop Vandy, and this is our very first installment of what we are praying to be something that will bless you for a long time. Yep, hip hip hooray. It is our ministry that we have. It's called Love and Happiness. And today, Pastor Barbara and I are going to be sharing some of your questions. If not, starting next week, we go right into your questions. As we're covering relationship questions, we also want you to understand that we are not new to this in terms of ministry and counseling couples. And I myself am a certified Christian counselor and have been counseling couples for over a decade. And Pastor Barbara has been pouring into couples and women for years. So we also have a book that is called Love and Happiness, the Secrets to Creating Winning Relationships. We're almost 20 years together, celebrating soon 18 years of marriage, and people still think we're on our honeymoon, and we're not sitting around going, goo, 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 I love you, you love me. But, it's just they can see that we're happy. They can see that we're in love, and to God be the glory with that. So what we're going to be doing today is I think going to be pretty fun, because a lot of people in relationships may be in them for the wrong reasons. And oftentimes you lose sight of, the old saying, are we having fun yet? So sometimes you're in it for love and you're not happy. And other times you're happy, but you just don't have the love that you would want. So today on Love and Happiness, the first show or the first conversation or whatever you would like to say is titled Love or Happiness. Okay? If, and this is just an if, we know the goal is to have them both. That's why we wrote Love and Happiness. That's why our ministry is Love and Happiness. But for today, my wife, Pastor Barbara, is going to defend love as the reason if you had to pick one, choose love. And I am going to defend happiness, that if you can only have one, pick happiness and work towards that. Now, of course, again, we're going to make sure that everyone knows how to work towards love and happiness. So, Pastor Barbara, tell everybody why in the world, if you can only have love or happiness, they should be shooting for love.
I'm just thinking, listen, if you could only pick one, I think you should pick love.
Okay.
Because listen, 18 years later, think about this. You got, I was a 36, 24, 36.
She ain't lying.
Ladies, listen, 2 babies later, 36, 24, 36. I'm not a 36, 24, 36. But God is still in the miracle business. He's still working. Okay, but I'm just saying.
So you feel if without love, when your body changes,
you got the body change, life change. You got the morning breath. You got the hair days, bad hair days. You got seasons of when the money isn't there. You got love. You have to remember, through better or worse, richer or poor. You have to remember those things. You have seasons of just, when you have to really depend on God. You have seasons of, when you're in the wilderness. So you have to depend on love. Not, everything can't be happiness, because things, when you look at the happiness, you have to look at, what's happening. So you have to really depend on happiness.
So you love because love is stable.
Love is stable. Love is about...
That is not the argument that's going to win.
Love is about devotion. Love is about... unselfishness. Love is about being loyal. Love is about commitment. Look at what the Bible says about love.
True.
Are you feeling me? If you're out there and you think
as you check in, tell us, would you rather, if you can only have one, love or happiness? Just type love or happiness.
If you're feeling me, ladies,
just let me know. Let us know, because you're hearing the appeal for love first.
Think about love. Think about what the word says about love. Love is unselfishness. Okay. Love is about commitment, okay?
Right.
Love is about forgiveness, okay?
Okay. So can I
I'm not finished. So if you're out there and if you're in a relationship, even if you're not married, if you're getting married or if you're dating, or if you're not married, you're not dating, if you want to be in a relationship, think about this. If you want someone to love, or if you love someone, do you want to just be happy, or do you want a commitment? Do you want to love somebody?
Why you gotta try to diss
If
happiness
you think,
though? Can't you
of
make
course
an
you wanna
argument
be
for love
happy,
without
but
dissing
say it.
happiness? All right.
Do you want someone to love you?
Listen.
I'm not finished,
Oh,
Bishop.
Lord.
Do you want someone to love you when you're sick? You
Love.
know? Or when you want someone to
Love.
love you? Think about this, ladies.
I'm
and
seeing them
gentlemen.
loves posting.
When you want somebody to love you,
Wait till I explain
When you're,
that.
when you're going through something, you want someone to love you when you're going through a season of whatever.
Please, it's only a half hour.
I'm
Can
just
I?
saying.
May I?
Where my lovers at?
Where my-
Any lovers watching
Okay.
us?
All right. So
Come on.
if I
Think
may,
about it. Okay, go ahead.
if I may,
Yeah.
there's a great song that was a huge hit. Y'all who've been Pharisees saved
Oh,
all
don't
your
even say
life.
it.
Don't. I let her speak.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
She already knows what's going to happen. If the song were true, which we have discovered it
God.
is, what's love got to do with it?
I knew he was going there.
I know you did. And you said everything you had to say, and I tried not to interrupt you.
God.
Try not to
Okay.
interrupt me.
Okay.
I'm looking at all these loves, and I'm like, really though?
Okay.
Really though? All right, so if you ask Ike, would he rather have love or happiness? Ike would say love, because he loved her when he beat her. But if you ask Tina, would she rather have love or happiness? Tina would have said, I'd rather be happy that he's not whipping me up and down the street in the name of love.
Oh my.
So what good is love? Now everybody knows, and some of you might even be in this,
Did I mention morning breath?
where you're in a relationship. You're in a relationship. Now,
I see
again,
your heart.
I need your vote. Now that just means they love what I just said. I didn't see any. No, listen. What I'm saying is, if you rather have love or happiness, please say happiness or love. Let us know. All right. So here's the thing. Think about the couples that you know. Prayerfully, you're not one.
Okay.
Married 25, 30 years, and all they have between them is love, in that they really do care for each other. But they're dysfunctioning, they don't get along well, they might not even spend their time together. They just have two separate lives. But they love each other. If something happened to one or the other, they would cry, they do care. But they're not happy. Think about spending years of your life without happiness. Think about that. Think about can you imagine how frustrating it would be to have a relationship with somebody and you're not happy? Think about the fact, okay, so you love each other. Okay, all right, that's fine. That and $2 to get you a gallon of milk. If you don't have happiness,
You have to have milk.
yeah, I stand corrected. If you don't have happiness, the sun don't shine like it's supposed to shine. If you're in love and you're not happy, it could be sunny outside and it's cloudy in your spirit. Your stress level goes up. You're miserable. You ever been with somebody that you loved and miserable? I mean miserable. It's a terrible feeling. Love, yes, it is something that we try to have in a relationship. But if I could only have one, you know how they say you either gonna be feared or respected. You know those businessmen and those leaders of leaders. It's better to be feared than respected. In other words, you just need to do what I need you to do. Well, for men, we're happy when you do what we want you to do, and what makes us happy creates our ability to make you happy. Because if we're miserable, it's hard for us to feel like running through a wall for you. So happiness to me is the engine. And okay, somebody said love should bring happiness. But there's a whole bunch of people in divorce court right now that will tell you love brought misery. That when they said I do, it became hell. So love should bring happiness. But I would argue happiness can also bring love. Because if somebody's making you happy, you'll learn to love some things about that person. So it goes both ways. That's all I'm trying to say. All right? So thank you. I see somebody saying, sorry, Pastor Barbara. Sup, Danita? See you, girl. Holla at your boy. So, listen, We got that. We're good with that. So if you want to send us some real questions, we want to talk about some real stuff. But in fairness, my wife has to go again in the name of love.
I do, because think about this. Think about this. When you love somebody,
right,
you are committed to them. You are loyal to them. When you love somebody, you are dedicated to them.
Happy people don't do that?
And no, wait a second. When you love somebody,
can a dog really love?
When you love, is
a dog really loving someone, or is he just happy you feed him?
When you love somebody, you would run through a brick wall for them. When you love somebody, you are. I love being in love. I love being married. I love this. I love.
It ain't that kind of video, but it could be any minute now, because it gets real. But
I love being in love. I love being married to my husband.
I do too.
So I mean, I love, doing.
But if you were in court arguing for why love should win the case, your argument is.
It's the thing, when you.
What's your closing argument?
But
What's your closing argument?
It's not a chore doing stuff for the person you love.
But think about all the people in the world,
like, for example,
who have not found the love that makes them feel.
When I'm sick and I'm vomiting, you've seen me vomit. You hold my hair because it's okay, because you love me.
And I don't want it to splash on me. I'm just like, go ahead, girl. Let me just get behind you.
When I'm sick of,
but what I'm saying is, your closing argument is. Not from your perspective,
yeah,
but from everybody watching who are trying to decide how important is love. Because there's some people, especially when you get into them 30s and 40s, and you got to make a decision about a relationship, and you don't seem to have nobody who's loving you the way that you had dreamed you would be loved. But there's things that you find joy in, and they make you happy. So I'm just saying, you're making and I'm not asking anybody to settle. So please don't settle in the name of love. That's not the key. We will be talking over the weeks to come, and especially as you email your questions, please take a second. Your real stuff. We ain't gonna shout you out. I don't care if you create a fake Gmail account right now. Just email us. It's questions with the S. questions@loveandhappiness.tv. All together, loveandhappiness.tv. Not .com, not .org, not .net. Okay? Email us those. We've got some, but next week and every Saturday, 11 o'clock, we're live. Then we'll be posting it, and it'll be on YouTube and everything else where you can just enjoy it. If your spouse missed it and you say, no, you got to hear this, we're going to really, really have real talk. Some stuff is sexual. Let you know right now. You may not want to do the Facebook Live thing with the kids sitting right there in the room. Not that we going to cuss. It's going to be real talk, all right? So that being the case, closing arguments, all right? Closing arguments. Love. No, we got time. We got time. But closing, some other things I wanted to talk about. Closing argument, not about you. You can't use you. Explain to the world why, if you can only choose love or happiness, you're choosing love.
Well, the Bible don't talk about happiness. It talks about love. You have to love me. The Bible don't tell you to be happiness with me. It tells you got to love me. Okay?
Yeah.
So
why?
you need to love because...
If God tells you to do something, it's because he knows you have a hard time with it.
That's right.
Okay, so that means it's harder to love than it is to find happiness. He doesn't have to tell you, stick with who makes you happy. That's easy. He tells you stick with who you love because sometimes they get on your nerve and they don't make you happy.
That's true.
No. But your closing argument. Your little argument. Okay. Your little argument. Why? Tell your little argument as to why I love. But you quoted scripture. Okay. I like your little scripture. But now why? Tell them why.
Right.
Why love?
Because.
Well, I would not want her in court with me defending my. Okay. So you anything else you want to add?
At the end of the day.
You rest your case.
At the end of the day, love above all, love will work. Love will stand. At the end of the day, my heart, it will never fail. Love will stand.
Not your heart. We're talking about so there's
at
a
the
court,
end of the
divorce court, and divorce attorneys are making
no
money on people who thought they was going to have love forever.
No. And honestly, at the end of the day, it's a decision. It's a decision. It's a choice. You have a choice. And you always talk about which door do you choose to be in.
Okay.
The room of of offense, the room of love, the room of you have. It's a decision.
But if you go with love,
people have a choice. Either
Yeah.
you choose to be offended, you choose to love, you choose to be happy. It's a choice. You can have both. You can have love and happiness. You can choose.
no,
to be
but
happy.
we're not. That's the.
You can choose to be happy. Some people
My
choose
wife
to be.
is not playing the game fair. The question is love or happiness. We know we want to have both, but that's a given. Let's just love.
Love.
Your attorney.
Love.
You like if you was oh my God. I'm just saying if you don't have any as an attorney, you before the jury, they're watching. They got to make an assessment, a verdict. Y'all vote love or happiness.
Love.
If you had to have one, just
Love.
keep on.
Trust me,
Everybody
love.
checking in.
Love.
We need to hear your vote. The world needs to see your stance.
Love.
That if you only had, you heard hers. Now, can I give my closing argument as to why happiness? If of course we want both, but
you know you're gonna break it down and love.
she mad because she was defending hers with
Love.
court-appointed attorney quality. You know, when you go to jail, they appoint you an attorney versus you buy your attorney. You know you don't get the same quality.
Don't get that.
Happiness. All right. So my closing position is this: that if I have to spend 50 years of my life with somebody,
Yes.
I want to be happy.
Yes.
Don't be yesing me. You standing for love. If I got to be with somebody for 50 years, if we're going to both live and nobody gets to collect insurance, I want to be happy with the person I'm with. And I think that most people in this world would rather be happy. Of course we want love. We get that. But are you happy? And then the question becomes, if you're not happy, what are you both doing to become happy? Because most of the folk I counsel love each other while they're about to leave each other. They love each other while they're sleeping in separate rooms. They love each other. When I ask them from the door, one of the first questions I ask a couple, do you love each other? Because without that connection, what's happening, which is all the happiness is left, the joy has left, and everything else has walked out the room, and they're only tied to each other in the name of love. Now, we can never love like God loves. Let's just be clear. So as much as, as a Christian, we want to perfect God's love, we do not have that capacity in our humanity to love the way God loves, truly the way God loves. Our love at best has limits. But if I were to say to the couple, who love each other, why are you about to go to divorce? Why are you interested in separating? Happiness is what's driving them apart. Seldomly, the person says, I just don't love them anymore. Seldomly. Usually, they don't like what's happening, which means the happiness has been just shot. It's been... So my closing argument as to why, if you are watching, you ought to take a position, because straddlers get shot on the fence. You ought to pick one. Pick love or happiness. Make your position known and just say happiness and or type love. The world needs to be clear about where you stand in this particular case, because if I desire happiness, I will put in the work to make myself happy. So if making her happy, which it does, will make me happy, then I'm willing to put in the work to make her happy, knowing it's like lingerie. Men buy lingerie for women, but it's really for them. So if I make her happy, making myself happy. Happy wife, happy life, that kind of thing. So I, in closing arguments to the world of Facebook, say happiness. Now again, the whole point of love and happiness is to get you to have your cake and eat it too. Okay? Our book, shameless plug, Love and Happiness. You can get it on our website, loveandhappiness.tv or vandycoulter.com. This book will teach you how to have your cake and eat it too, because what takes the joy out of the relationship is usually what's happening. When we stand at the altar, we stand there because we say we love each other. The reason that you had made your mom, your cousins, and everybody else mad at you for picking somebody that they all thought you shouldn't pick is in the name of love. The reason that you decided to, to fight and to stand and to do a lot what you do, usually it's love. And if not addressed, that love that is not being done properly fast becomes dysfunction. And once that dysfunction takes over in the relationship, you can love each other and stab each other with a knife. I was on the corner. I was outside my home yesterday. Yeah. Day before? Or
Thursday.
Yesterday? Thursday. And I was cleaning my garage, but I put on my police chaplain shirt. Not that it wasn't worth nothing. Shout out violent police chaplains. Shout you out. I had on my police chaplain shirt because it was a little nippy. I know, 80-degree weather. Who are we to talk about nippy? But it was nippy. And a trash collector was driving by, picked up the trash, and his truck stopped the next house over, and he backed up. And he said, "Hey, you're a police chaplain? You're a chaplain." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "I got something going on." And he began to tell me about his marriage issues and how he loves his wife and how he's still thinking of leaving her and all the dysfunction that has been connected to the marriage. And all of a sudden, I find myself in front of my home cleaning my garage, but because he was able, in his wisdom, to see this must be someone who can help counsel me, he stops his truck, backs up, and begins to share his life. And I minister to him. I pray for him. And as he continues to come, I believe there'll be an opportunity to do more of that. But my point is, here he had love. He admitted, "I love my wife. Oh, she's awesome. I love her." And not 30 seconds later, he was like, "But I'm ready to leave." And I'm like, wow. So you can have love, but it doesn't mean happiness will allow that marriage to last. Love will not keep you happy. Love is what you need to be happy, but it will not keep you happy. Otherwise, if love was enough, no one would be in divorce court, because most of them are in there because of their unhappiness, not because of their love. So as a result, nobody works hard on happiness. Everybody is saying, "I love you, I love you, I love you though," but it's not enough work. So what Love and Happiness, what this ministry, what our book, what everything is about for us is to say, hey, how wonderful would your life be? Shameless plug. I don't know how much it is. It's like only $40 now. It's like $14.99, $13.99, something like that. Whatever it is, the wisdom is worth a whole lot more. Not even whatever the price is. In any event, we really want and have a burden in our heart for couples, for those who love relationships, because it burdens me, which is why you're anointed for something. If you go on the job and it bothers you that, something isn't being done, that means you're really anointed for what you're seeing. So we have a burden for relationships because we really want people not just to be in love, but happy. And that was something we had to work to do. When we first got together, there were patterns of our own personal behavior that became examined, and we argued what my wife calls intense moments of fellowship. I'm from the hood. We call it arguing, fussing, fighting. But anyway, she and our intense moment of fellowships and I had different views. But the one thing I was very, very clear on, perhaps from having been involved in training and all this stuff, is nothing just happens. That if we want to be happy, we're going to have to work at it. And so there would be times we fussed all night long. But my position was, I will fight all night to win our marriage. I will not fight all night over foolishness. I will fight all night to hammer out agreement, understanding, to build our foundation. So early on, after the honeymoon was over, the honeymoon stage, that became the real work of the marriage. And your marriage or anything in life will never be better than your foundation. So the foundation that we began to build, the foundation to be able to work through, past influences, past exposures, past patterns of thinking, what I thought is right, what she thought is right, and to be able to do it in a healthy way that allows us both to be heard, but at the end of the day, submit to what's the best path of wisdom for happiness. Because my thing was with her, I used to say this very, very early in the marriage, because I grew up with the old black and white shows where you see a guy sitting on the edge of some other woman's bed and he says, "My wife doesn't understand me." And in other words, he's unhappy. It was never a question of love, but there was always this image of the guy on someone else's bed sitting there because he was unhappy and misunderstood. So my thing is, I wanted to gain great understanding, happiness, communication, and that didn't just happen. We had to navigate sensitive areas. In our book, we talk about that. We talk about how some of these things happen. So this is our gift. This is our our ministry. This is our desire to strengthen the resolve around everyone who has love. Some people have great relationships, and if you're great, this will only make it greater. If it's good, it'll take good to great. If it's bad, it could take bad to good. What it won't do is take bad to worse. Now, if you ain't working with nobody that's worth working with, it may expose that. But wouldn't you rather know that in year 6 than in year 17? Wouldn't you rather know this is not going to work, mean you ain't going to make it in 4 months versus 15 years, and they jacked your credit up and all kinds of stuff happens? So that's what we really about. What's your thoughts?
Ditto. That's a lot. Well, Bishop, I agree with everything you said. You know, it's good to catch it early than be married and miserable and not know what to do. I'm just glad that God gave us this ministry, that we can help others, that we caught, you know, God taught us early on how to work on our marriage so we can help other people. So yeah.
And we're still working on our marriage.
Yeah.
You know, the worst thing is to make people think that we ain't. That sometimes we are together, but we're getting it more and more together all the time. And the difference is we're sharing stuff that works. Yeah. We're talking about this is what really works. You know what I mean? That the work, just like salvation, you never arrive. You know, there is none righteous, no, not one. So even though, you know, you may be real strong in the Lord and the power of God, that doesn't mean you're perfect.
Nope. And we have intense moments of fellowship.
Yes. Yes. Whereas in the beginning they were regular. Now they're irregular.
That's right.
The intense moments of fellowships are very
And we never
irregular.
did it in front of our children.
That's we got a little loud once or twice, and she has to check me because I got, you know, I still smell like sin sometimes. I'm from
not
the hood.
In front of the children, no.
But you know, but we're not disrespecting each other in a way that it makes it hard to have dinner together. You know what I mean? So we really want you to like us on Facebook.
Love us.
Love the comments and like us or follow us. Everyone watching, take a second, please, and follow us on Facebook, because there's going to be a lot of stuff. There's going to be a lot of things we're going to contribute, relationship trivia, events and ministries as we're doing these same kind of things, only really cool ways within other churches throughout the country and stuff. So as the ministry grows and goes forward, we want to make sure that you're always connected to us. So be sure that you're following us, whether you go to Love and Happiness, the page that we have on Facebook, Love and Happiness, whether if you're working through me for whatever reason, Pastor Barbara does not have a Facebook account. And that's okay, because she uses mine to, you know, communicate, and it's all good. Whatever, you know, I ain't got nothing to hide. Ain't no, you know, so she can use mine. It's fine. But go to Dr. Vandy Coulter on Facebook. Follow me, which means you're following us. And we look forward. Please email your questions, because we want real talk. You know, real talk. I mean, we've got questions already that we'll start addressing next Saturday at 11 o'clock about shacking, you know, just sex stuff.
Don't be shy.
Sex stuff.
You can just ask anything. Yeah,
they asking sex stuff. So we're going to talk sex stuff, because saints like to hear about sex. Y'all going to act like you don't, but saints are nasty.
Very nasty.
Okay. So we love you. We love you. We're definitely going to start also adding relationship tips to the website, loveandhappiness.tv. We're also, again, everybody who submits a question, if we use your question, we're going to give you a copy of the book free. Okay? And there's cool book chapters in the book. I'll give you this information because it'll bless you. One of the chapters is titled Stay Connected, because during the times that you love each other, sometimes it's hard to stay connected. And it's easier to start putting a wedge between you when you start walling up. Another chapter is Don't Die in the Dark. Because when those bills aren't being paid, the love gets lost, the intimacy gets lost, and all of a sudden during the dark times, you spiritually die to each other. So by the time you come out, you made it, but your marriage or your relationship didn't make it. So we talk about ways that you can make sure you don't die in the dark, that while you're working to get your finances and things in order. Pastor Barbara, this is another one, or pick one or two that you feel people will be blessed by.
Speak to the queen in her, not the girl.
Okay, yes, that's one chapter. My wife wrote this chapter. It's called Speak to the Queen in Her and Not the Girl. Because often when we're talking to our mates, if we're not careful, because girls do marry their fathers, fathers do marry their, men do marry their mothers, 9 out of, a majority of the time. So what happens is if I'm being aggressive in something, she would feel like I was speaking to her like a girl. You're not my father, is what I used to hear 15 years ago. You're not my father. I'm like, girl, I know who I am. I ain't pay child support for you. I am not your dad. But she would feel, and then that made me realize that I must be speaking to the girl in her that makes her fight back, saying, I'm a woman. When you start hearing those kind of things, men, that means that we're saying something in a way that makes them feel we're looking down, that we're trying to control versus get a point across. And then in her case, I did a chapter in response to that, speak to the king in him and not the fool. Because a lot of times women don't realize they have the ability to strengthen us and to make us sit upright and go through a wall for them if they speak to the king in us. But if they speak to the fool, we will start to be foolish. We will act foolish. We will say foolish things. So there's things in here to help you women understand. Sometimes when you're talking and it seems like your love interest is flipping, you might be talking to the fool in them. And whoever you speak to is who's going to stand up. If you speak to the king, king's going to stand up. And all of a sudden he's going to talk right. And he's going to honor you and he's going to respond. And then if you're wondering, how does this guy go from treating me or talking to me in such a way, and then all of a sudden he talks to me crazy, or he speaks to me with less love, it's because you spoke to the fool in him. Now, of course, our response is our responsibility, but it's important to know, if I know
who
that
we're triggering, which guy we're tapping into.
And it gives you the ability to trigger who you want.
Right.
You might want the fool on Friday night. I want that fool to step up, or you would prefer the king. Or you might prefer the girl, or you prefer, for me, a girl can't do nothing for me. I wanted a woman. So when I found myself speaking to the girl in her, I began to immediately try to uproot any kind of communication that's going to make her feel that way. So there's a lot of cool things in the book that we certainly will give to you if you shoot us some questions that we use. And again, it's questions with the S at loveandhappiness.tv. And we're looking forward to doing this for a long time. Finally got it popping. Big shout out to Noel Quiles, who helped put together a fat trailer that somewhat makes us look unsaved completely. And if you haven't seen the trailer, please look on our page and click it. Check it out on YouTube. Real religious people, stay away from it. The parental Pharisaic advisory, it's not for your eyes. It's just, but Christians actually have real stuff. So we definitely look forward to doing this for real. We feel a half an hour is going to be fun and plenty. We just went a few minutes over. Anything you'd like to say, Pastor Barbara, before we sign out?
I really enjoyed this. And we'll see you next week.
Hey, did you all enjoy it? Shoot us a thumbs up or something before I sign off real quick. I saw a lot of activity, and I was trying not to stare at that. But shoot us a thumbs up. Let us know that it's something you would like, because we certainly don't want to not be relevant. We certainly want the ministry. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Love you, love you, love you. Let us know. Let us know you're feeling it. Let us know you love it, because as we go deeper and deeper into this stuff, it's a healthy way. It's a peaceful way. If you got a husband who's acting crazy, just share this with him. We'll be talking about his crazy behavior, and you could just sit there innocent, like, what? And he'll be like, do I act like that? You'll be like, sometimes you do.
Sometimes it's the wife.
Yes, and
she's bumped her head.
I'm capable of saying things out of pocket. I'm letting you know in advance, if you've never been around me, I can say something out of pocket. If I call a crazy random woman a chicken head, I am not talking about all women. I'm not misogynistic, but there are some chickens in the female gender that do some chicken-headed stuff. And so
there's some busters too.
Yeah.
There's some busters.
I make no defense for them, but I'm just saying, again, I'm letting you know it up front. It's going to be real talk, but it's going to be not just fun, but very informative, and you'll be able to deal with sensitive stuff from everything about how to love each other, how to respect each other, how to communicate and build bridges after you done shattered stuff and you don't even know, you know, you got so many minefields, you can't even talk about stuff without it blowing up, so you rather say nothing. So we're going to really equip you, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So we love you, Facebook.
Love you.
We love you, love you, love you. And please share the video after we post it. Put it on your Facebook screen. Let other people see it. Every Saturday at 11 o'clock. You know, no matter where we are. Doesn't matter where we are. We will be live and we'll be talking with you. Amen. Thank you for all the love.
Love you.
We love the love. And for anybody who loves love, you know, we encourage you to follow us with love and happiness. Amen?
Amen.
All right. I'm going to reach. I'm reaching right now, so I'm getting ready to turn this off. All right, so I have to reach to the screen. I don't have a remote, so all right, here you go. I'm closing out. Somehow, I think I'm hitting it.